Hey everyone, it's Serenity. Yep, I'm back. After a long period of rest, right? Anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is how Watchtower is actually fulfilling Bible prophecy. Yes, and not in a good way. No. So, what I would like to do is just highlight Second Timothy chapter 3, 1 through 7. And that's where it gives a list of how men, humans would act in the last days, basically. So, yeah, let me just quickly read that. And I am going to use Battleship Gray Bible here because I haven't used it in a while. Um, but yeah, Second Timothy 3, and I'm going to read 1 through 7. That says, but know this, that in the last days, critical times hard to deal with will be here. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, haughty, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, disloyal, having no natural affection, not open to any agreement, slanderers, without self control, fierce, without love of goodness, betrayers, headstrong, puffed up with pride, lovers of pleasures rather than lovers of God, having an appearance of godliness but proving false to its power. And from these turn away. From among these arise men who slyly work their way into households and captivate weak women loaded down with sins, led by various desires, always learning and yet never able to come to an accurate knowledge of truth. Watchtower, you check the bill on all of these. You see how you're fulfilling Bible prophecy for the last days? You know why you're doing this? Because you're part of Babylon the Great, that world empire of false religion. Yeah, you're right along with everyone else, except you're sitting right at the top. If it was a pyramid, you would be at the top. Yeah, you would be there. So, let's see. Men will be lovers of themselves. Governing body members, you love yourselves because you love seeing yourself on TV and you think you're just doing the best thing by dispensing this filth and garbage to your members because that's what it is. It's lies. Nothing but lies. You can call it new light if you want, but it is what it is. It's lies. Okay. Lovers of money. You're constantly asking your members for more material possessions, whether it be money, properties that they want you to will to them after your death, different items. Donate to us, cars, whatever. And you don't redistribute this to your members either. Any good corporation who has ones that buy shares in that corporation get dividends. How are you giving your members dividends of what you collect and profit off of Watchtower? Hmm? Boastful. We know you boast. You're proud about all of these accomplishments that you do, which you really shouldn't even be proud of. Haughty. First, let's define what haughty even means. It means blatantly proud, showing an attitude of superiority and contempt for people or things perceived to be inferior. Watchtower, you fit the bill as well with this because this attitude of superiority is shown by the mere fact that you proclaim to be the one true religion on the entire face of this earth, and you are the only way to salvation. You check that off of the list on here too, Watchtower. Good job. Okay, disobedient to parents. I do remember this. You did encourage that when kids are a certain age, if they don't agree and they're not worshipers and the children are, that they should obey God rather than men. So no matter what their parents want, you basically trump that with your teachings and beliefs. So therefore, you encourage disobedience to parents when it suits your company. Unthankful. You are unthankful because you're always encouraging your members to do more, to give more, to be more. Nothing is ever good enough, and they live in this constant state of guilt and shame because they don't feel like they're doing enough. You are not thankful for what they do, and you're constantly saying this in your literature and also your discourses that you give on the broadcast. Shame on you. Disloyal. So, disloyal. You literally went in front of court officials and denied that you're the only means God uses to dispense spiritual food. Not only were you disloyal to your fake God that you worship, which is the devil, but you were disloyal to your members by saying this in a court, that it would be presumptuous for you to claim that when you've been doing that all along. Very disloyal. Good job. Once again, you check that off the list. Having no natural affection. This is obvious. You literally condition and train your members to lose their natural affection for their own children, for their own parents, for other humans, just by your teachings and doctrines alone. I could go on because it's not just about the shunning. It's not just about you telling people that if their relatives are not witnesses, they're considered bad association. So you're instilling this lack of natural affection in your members, and it's very apparent by their actions. But then again, you are worshiping the devil, so what should anyone expect? Slanderers. So you slander against the true God. You slander Jesus because you teach about Jesus being something that he is not, and even qualities that he does not have. Shame on you. You also slander apostates who are actually doing a good work, but you lie about them. You tell your members they're evil, they're devious, they can't be trusted. That's slander because you don't want them, your own members, to know the truth about where they are and really what's going on with your company. You even slander other religions. You pick out the dirt and you're willing to twist the truth in order to make yourself look better. Without self-control. Yeah, well, you guys just say whatever as long as you think that it's going to create more followers for you. No self-control, no thought. Just do whatever feels right at the moment in order to make yourself look good. Fierce. You're fierce because you wish death and destruction on innocent people. That is fierce. It's fierce to watch someone that you love die because they refused a much needed medical treatment. That's fierce. Without love of goodness. Once again, if people don't think the way you think, believe how you believe, they do not deserve goodness in your eyes. That is what you teach. They don't deserve goodness unless they believe the same thing of you as you and become one of your members in your religion watchtower. Betrayers. So a betrayer is a person who provides information about another's wrongdoing, especially a trusted individual. This again, you encourage your members to do. If you see them doing something they shouldn't, report it. It's your obligation. First go to them and tell them to report it. Mind you, you're supposed to be a friend, a trusted family member even, and you're going and betraying someone you're supposed to love if they do what you perceive as a human as sinful. That would be betraying, which watchtower you encourage and you also do yourself. So you check this off of the list as well. Headstrong. Headstrong. Can't tell your governing body members anything because they always know better. Puffed up with pride. That's kind of the same thing. They're so prideful that what they're doing is above everyone else and every other religion that you can't tell them anything. Lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. So you don't worship the true God. So you can't even love God because, once again, and I will keep saying it, you're worshiping a rebel God, which is Satan the devil. So you love pleasures, which is all of these material things that you're collecting on this physical earth. When you preach, store up treasures in heaven. But what are you doing? You're storing up treasures on earth with properties, investments. And guess what? I don't make fun of anyone or any people, but governing body members, you live a very pleasurable life and your body shows it. If you truly loved yourself and represented the true God and understood exactly how to conduct yourselves, you wouldn't look the way you do. You would take pride in your body that you were given. You don't. Okay. 5, having an appearance of godliness but proving false to its power. That's you, pretending to be holy, but you prove false to godliness and the power of the true God because you do not worship the true God. And it's apparent by your actions or your fruits that you produce. From among these arise men who slyly work their way into households. That's you. You have these publishers go to people slyly to their households. Now it's being done through letter writing. And it says captivate weak women. It could be men as well. It doesn't have to be women. But once again, the Bible always wants to portray women in a negative light. So here it would be weak women, but it's weak men as well. You actually go and seek out these weak men and women to bring them into your organization, your company. Those are the ones you search for because you know they're vulnerable. Shame on you trying to take advantage of people when they're at their lowest because you know that way it'll work. And here we go in verse 7, last thing. Always learning and yet never able to come to an accurate knowledge of truth. You have been dispensing spiritual food for decades. Always learning, but you can't get the truth. You know why? Because you do not represent the true God. So your actions will always be futile. But I'm not worried about it. This is just some things in here that you are fulfilling Bible prophecy and not in a good way. Your organization is unraveling and it's unraveling bad. You are trying to control any way you can at this point from coming apart. That's why you're so adamant trying to tell people, your members, not to look at apostates and how evil we are because we have the truth. We know about your organization and you don't want your members to know about what a sham they're in and how they've been just used and abused. That's what's going on, Watchtower. You are fulfilling Bible prophecy in all the wrong ways because of the God you worship. And you're blindly making people follow you to your own destruction. I don't blame the members. I blame you, governing body members. You. You can always fix this. Sell the things and distribute the wealth among your members and pack up shop. Yes, swallow your pride and your ego and do the right thing for once. Anyway, that's it for today. um, I don't know what my next video will be, but I'll work on it. I'll start getting them out as usual. I'm feeling better, so yeah. Um, that's it. I hope everyone's having a great day. I love you all. Remember to show love. That's what's going to help humanity as well as yourself. Okay? All right. Take care. Bye.